Steve Chandler recalls when his then 12-year-old daughter Marjorie participated in a school poetry reading where all her classmates were tasked with writing a lie poem about how great they were. The students were instructed to create untruths about themselves, making them sound unbelievably wonderful. As Steve listened to the poems, he realized that the children were, unintentionally, doing something similar to what Arnold Schwarzenegger did to clarify the vision of his future. By lying to themselves, they were creating a vision of who they wanted to be. It's also worth noting that public schools are often disconnected from the motivational sources that drive individual achievement and personal success. In this case, the school had to invite children to lie in order to encourage them to express big visions for themselves. As the movie E.T. humorously posed, how do you explain school to a higher intelligence? Most of us struggle to see the truth of who we could become. Steve Chandler recognized that his daughter's school had unintentionally offered a solution to this challenge. If it's difficult to imagine your potential, start by expressing it as a fantasy, just like the children did when they wrote their poems. Create stories about who you'd like to be. Your subconscious mind doesn't know the difference between fantasy and reality. It simply receives the pictures you feed it. Take the story of James, a young man who desperately wanted to be a confident public speaker. However, every time he stood before an audience, he would stammer, sweat, and forget his words. Instead of giving up, James decided to fake being confident. Before each speech, he would tell himself, "I'm an excellent speaker." He'd stand tall, smile as if he were already a seasoned pro, and imagine the audience hanging on to his every word. At first, it felt ridiculous. He knew he was faking it. But something strange started happening. With each speech, the nerves became less intense, and his confidence grew. Over time, James wasn't pretending anymore. He truly became the confident speaker he had only dreamed of. What began as a lie became the truth. Just like James, you can fake it till you make it. By feeding your mind images of your highest self, you can start to build the blueprint for your future achievements. Without a clear picture of who you want to be, it's impossible to grow into that person. So don't be afraid to create that image, even if it feels like a lie at first. In time, the lie will become the truth.